huge fan of the original. It's up there with some of the big ones for me. I come from an animation background, and Peter Pan, Alice, Jungle Book. These are like the big ones, and Lady and the Tramp it's one of the huge ones for me. Like my some of my big heroes in animation, Nine Old Men, Frank Thomas, and those guys animating some of the most iconic scenes, like when we first meet Tramp and him doing that stretch and shake. Obviously, the spaghetti scene, and just the level of animation that those guys were doing in the film. They were just really peaking in their ability. Yeah, so it lives in a very special place in my sort of growing up, but also me becoming a cartoonist and an animator. We had these very funny casting calls where we would go to a park and meet these dogs in the park. Like all these dogs would come and we'd meet them and photograph them, and like with Mark and it was very clear, I think, when we met Monty, who's playing Tramp, that he was the right one, and the same with Rose. We many Cocker Spaniels very specific with Lady, that look, and we met many different ones, but it had so much more to do with than just the look. It was their personalities, and that really comes through I think on screen. We all believe in rescuing animals, and it's kind of cool that a lot of the dogs, Monty in particular, we rescued him and Jagger, and many of these animals we rescued from shelters and bad situations, and then they're trained them from scratch. They're not trained animals that have come from a training background, and it's amazing what Mark and the whole team has been able to do. He's such a writer's brain, constantly writing on the mic, always making things better, making things funnier, making things more interesting. And also, another one is such a depth of dramatic abilities as an actor. So it's fantastic. Very, very different character, and so it's so much fun to see and work with him in a dramatic side. It's great. Tessa is so great. Now, she's also so funny, like a real improv comedian. I mean, that's the way that she thinks about it, and the way she approaches it. And working with her, really similar to the way that I work with Justin. And we're constantly, trying things and making things funnier. This movie is a romantic, dramatic movie first, but we're always finding little things to make ourselves laugh and to make it more fun. It's really good.